Hi, editing Omnia here. This is funny because this is the first clip in the video, but the last clip that I'm recording because I just found out that Peaches uses exclusively he/they pronouns, and I did not know that until this entire video was created, so I apologize in advance for misgendering them throughout the video. Long time no see, long time no talk. It's Omnia. I've been gone for 4 or 5 months and well, this is not the type of video I was imagining I'd break my hiatus with. As a matter of fact, this is the last video I'd imagine breaking my hiatus with. It's a nightmare. To cut to the chase, one of the main creators I'm going to be talking about today is one that you probably heard many things about. Hopeless Peaches. An artist, a YouTuber, someone who had a drama in her name some years ago, someone who was mistreated by previous art commentary channel Creepshow Art. That's what most people know about her anyway. Whatever your base understanding of who she is or what she does on the internet, the evidence I'll be presenting in this video will likely change your perceptions of her for the absolute worse. Because I'm not gonna lie, it even changed my own perceptions of her. Some people may know that Peaches and I have had a very long-standing, let's just call it upset with each other. We have had very public and fundamental disagreements on past dramas, things I can cover in a future video regarding my personal experiences with her if there's a demand for that. And we've been at odds pretty much ever since. Fast forward to recent years, this fundamental disagreement with one another never really changed. This reached its peak in the summer of 2022 after I released a video titled The Commentary Community's Biggest Flaw. This video has since been privated by me due to the fact that I recognized that I was incapable of communicating and articulating my intentions about the topic of the video clearly and responsibly. The video discussed the differences between trauma and drama and context to YouTube commentary channels. My main point was that I believed commentary YouTubers do not cover traumatic, serious situations and crimes with the levity they deserve, and instead treat these situations like petty dramas. However, the way in which I communicated this central message was poorly done, and in turn this video was poorly received. One of the main critics of said video was Hopeless Peaches herself. In a video titled Gatekeeping Trauma and Plagiarizing Art, Omnia's worst video, Peaches claimed that I gatekept trauma through the language I utilized as well as the examples I provided of trauma and drama in said video. Despite recognizing that my commentary community's biggest flaw video was poorly executed and that there were plenty of concerns that were entirely valid within Peaches' critique video, in light of recent evidence being publicized, it is alarming to be confronted with the revelation that Peaches does not at all practice what she allegedly preaches. The main piece of evidence that gives credence to this sentiment is the main subject of this video, the Rosa Ray Ramsey call. The Rosa Ray Ramsey call was a voice call that occurred on January 31st, 2023. It took place in the Senate server, which is Leo Convoy's Discord server. Leo Convoy, or Leo Man Bad as he is known on Twitter, is a YouTuber whose content mostly revolves around predator hunting and allegedly holding groomers accountable to their crimes. Hopeless Peaches and Leo Convoy consider one another found family. Peaches frequently refers to Leo as her father figure, and he often treats her as his daughter. This is not uncommon for Leo, as he is known to have multiple other found children whom he quote-unquote adopts online. In this particular VC, Leo, Peaches, and other members of the Senate server are confronting a woman by the name of Rosa Ray Ramsey. Rosa was brought into the Senate server for a confrontation because she claimed to be friends with another YouTuber by the name of Rebecca Starlight, or Star Giant Productions. Rebecca, or more commonly referred to in the call as Star Giant, had a Discord server of her own where she had many controversies. One of these controversies revolves around her former artist, Nekopan. Nekopan is a known predator and groomer who manipulated children in Discord servers, including someone by the name of Endo. Nekopan hurt minors for years on end and remained in Star Giant's server for at least 8 months. During that time, Nekopan had the ability to groom more children in Star Giant's server, much like they did to Endo. Star Giant knew about this information and did nothing about it, stating that the evidence that existed wasn't substantial and that because Nekopan wasn't found guilty of anything in a court of law, that it wasn't a big enough deal. And of course, that is a major problem that these these self-reported predator hunters want to prevent at all costs. Now, you might be wondering, why confront Rosa then? Why didn't Hopeless Peaches, Leo Convoy, and all the others who are in this call confront Nekopan herself? She's the predator after all, therefore she committed the most harm in the situation. Or maybe you're thinking, let's just say that they can't get a hold of Nekopan herself. Why didn't they confront Stargiant, the server owner, instead of Rosa? The server owner is the one who is almost solely responsible for those who are allowed in their server and what goes on in their server after all. So why Rosa? The answer to that is honestly really bizarre. Rosa was alleged to be a moderator in Stargiant's server, though the details about what permissions she had in that role is largely unclear. Sources I've seen state that she was a mod, but Rosa claims within this call that she wasn't one. There are some limitations to Rosa's claim, however, because of details I am about to talk about in this next point. Regardless of whether she had mod status or not, one thing is pretty clear. Rosa is not fit to be one. This is due in part to multiple severe disabilities such as autism and epileptic seizures that lead to memory loss. This may be why Rosa claims she wasn't a moderator, as she may have forgotten or was unclear about her position to begin with. Furthermore, these disabilities require her to rely on a caretaker to assist in her day-to-day activities. As a result, she lives under the care of her parents and has less autonomy or independence than a neurotypical individual would be in her age range. Please keep the nature of these disabilities in mind when we get to playing the actual call recording. This will provide helpful context to the call and why the actions taken by certain speakers are particularly egregious. In addition to Rosa's disabilities, her lack of commitment and responsibility to being a good moderator is another reason why she is unfit to be one. Discord servers can be very fraught places, as in people from all over the internet can gain access to public Discord servers and wreak havoc as much as they please. Being an active moderator, especially for a YouTuber's public Discord server, requires a certain level of commitment and responsibility, which Rosa doesn't seem to find a priority, which is absolutely fine. Of course, not everyone on the internet wants the burden of modding for a public figure's Discord server. Sometimes when we get online, we just want to look at silly little things and read funky little posts. That's totally valid, but if you sign up for something and gain access to that role, it's important that you do your absolute best to fill the position and act accordingly. However, this is ultimately contingent upon what the Discord server owner thinks is best for their own Discord community. A server owner is solely responsible for deciding who is best fit for the role of an admin or moderator in their server. Stargiant assigning a mod status to Rosa despite her being unfit for the role and never demonstrating otherwise was entirely irresponsible on Stargiant's part and made for a weaker and less responsive mod team. Therefore, it made Stargiant's server more susceptible to bad faith actors entering the space and infiltrating the community that Stargiant had created. The entire call centers around the idea that Rosa was informed by Endo and other victims of Nekopan that she was currently a member in Rosa's friend's Discord server, Stargiant's Discord server, and that Rosa didn't do anything about it for months despite the information being given to her earlier. The main upset is that Rosa didn't do enough, that Rosa didn't ban Nekopan in Stargiant's server and, in effect, allowed Nekopan access to Stargiant's server and, by extension, exposed any minors in that server to a known predator. Now, there are some caveats to this. We don't know what permissions Rosa was given as a moderator. Did Rosa even have the ability to ban members in Stargiant's server, or was that solely a permission that Stargiant, the server owner themselves, had? Additionally, why is a moderator being held more accountable than the server owner harboring the predator, or the predator themselves? These questions are kind of peppered all throughout the coverage of the call, and I try hard to interrogate some of the reasons behind why Hopeless Peaches, Leo Convoy, and other members of the Senate thought the methods they took to seeking quote-unquote accountability from Rosa was appropriate. All in all, I don't really know if there is a solid, morally sound reason for this, but that's strictly my own opinion, and I encourage you to come to your own while listening to the call and my commentary/criticisms of it. My goal in the creation of this video is to showcase the type of accountability and justice the Senate server claims to pursue, and the many ways their approach to said accountability and justice is in fact abusive, hypocritical, and ultimately counterintuitive. I 100% believe Endo's experience with nekopan, and this video doesn't exist to doubt or raise question about Endo's grooming, but rather showcase the way Senate server members mishandled their case by acting recklessly, selfishly, and irresponsibly. Without further ado, this is the Rosa Ramsey call, a heavy trigger warning for the R slur, ableist language, actions and behaviors, fat shaming and fat phobia, slut shaming, threats including threats of violence, gaslighting and manipulation, attempts at doxing and outing, and potentially triggering abusive language, actions, and behaviors. This call is not fun and games. It's one of the most disgusting pieces of audio I think I've ever encountered that has come out of the art commentary community. And I don't mean to sound alarmist or extreme by any means, but it really is a horrible experience. Please do take breaks as necessary and listen to your body if and when triggers do surface. Thank you for watching, and now on to the call. Hey, it's me. I moved. That's why everything looks different. Now my abuser doesn't know where the fuck I live. Yay! Today we are gonna go through the Rosa Ramsey call. I already did all the clips for this. I already watched this whole thing. And basically how this is gonna work is I'm gonna go through each clip and just play it as is. If there's anything that I wanna say or commentate on in between clips, you'll see this here. Otherwise, you'll just see what I have written on the screen, what I have transcribed, and yeah, this call is the worst. So, cheers. We're gonna fucking pop a shot. It's a pink cup. Cheers. Let's go.
Not sure, but it just kind of felt like emotional and verbal abuse. I felt like I was received death threats.
Side note, if I'm looking there, it's because that's another monitor where I'm watching all the clips on. Otherwise, this is how the first part of the call begins. They're talking and referencing about a previous call that Rosa was in along with Techno, Leo, and I think some other people within the Senate. She said that she felt like she received death threats within that call. Keep in mind, she said felt like, okay? Felt like.
Okay, first off, there were no death threats made your way. I understand that it may have felt that way because everybody was being aggressive, quote unquote.
Yeah.
However, a lot of them were very angry because children were involved and children were hurt. And that's something that I need you to understand before we continue, okay?
Uh-huh.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
I'm gonna
be a bitch for the rest of the fucking call. No, but like in all seriousness, you'll see what I mean. If you have not watched this call yet, trust me, you're gonna understand what I mean in a second.
Okay,
So
I'm gonna if it's alright if I pop in here.
That's fine.
Hi, Rosa. You're coming in here saying that you've learned things from the last time you were in here. Do you really want to sit there and start saying that you've actually done that?
I was actually about to get into that.
Because,
Thank you, though.
yeah, because I just want to point out first and foremost, before this gets swept under the rug, you came in here saying that you got death threats.
Remember how I said to keep in mind that she said felt like she had death threats? Yeah, it's because of this clip. She's already trying to like fuck shit up with the narrative. She's like, oh, you said you came in here saying that you got death threats. And it's like, Rosa never said that. Rosa said that she felt like she received death threats. So Peaches is already on some fuck shit, like immediately.
Who gave you death threats?
It was from the last call.
Yeah, I know
From
that.
Leo.
From Leo, what death threat did he say? I want you to specify before you go into it, because I want to know if you're saying that you've learned something. I want to know clearly one of the things that you must have learned was not to come in here and lie. So please let me know what truthful, definitely happened death threat that you got from Mr. Lyle Convoy.
Tell me about the truthful, definitely happened death threat that you received, that you literally said that you felt like you received.
I definitely remember was something that wolves coming to maul me or something like that.
Wolves coming to maul you?
Yeah,
But
Okay.
something like that. Do you want me to let you know what was said?
I guess.
Wasn't this the same conversation where he literally put a hypothetical where if he was to say that he would want wolves to maul you, it wouldn't be a death threat because you fucking can't do that?
It was just.
Was that the one?
Yeah, it felt like a threat to me.
Does he control the wolves?
I guess.
No.
Yeah, okay, now thank you for that. You can continue on. I just wanted to specify that, and I really like
convoy, wolf master.
that is what is hilarious to me. So
Lyle,
you know what?
God damn it.
I'm not even gonna argue further on that. I just now like Rosa Ray Ramsey's headcanon that Lyle controls the wolves. You can continue on with what you were doing now.
I feel like it's so obvious that she's trying to make Rosa seem stupid so early on in the call that it's just like, she's on the spectrum and you are literally already being like, does he control the wolves? You're trying to make her look like she doesn't know what she's talking about from the get-go. It's so bad faith. I can't.
Some people often say that it's my server, but the truth is, it's not my server. It's Rebecca's server. I was basically a part of her server. I'm just someone who wanted to fit in.
Okay, so some information that I'm lacking personally. Were you a mod in that server at all, or just like someone there?
Just someone there.
Okay.
I mostly did fan art for her.
Okay, so you've talked to Rebecca before. Why did you not go to her about Neko at all?
Well, she told me that Neko was basically a former artist for her.
I'm just gonna stop you right there. With her being a former artist, that has nothing to do with the fact that she preyed on children and could have preyed on children in Rebecca's server.
Okay, but literally Rosa is giving you context as to what Star Giant or Rebecca said to her when she confronted her about nekopan being in her server. She's giving the context that you literally asked for. What the fuck?
Let me simplify it for you, Rosa. All right, so let's presume in this hypothetical, there's a man who works at a tire shop. Do you know what a tire shop is?
An auto shop?
A tire shop. We'll go with auto shop. We'll stay with auto shop. Let's assume there's a guy who works in an auto shop in this fictional hypothetical, okay? All right, that guy goes out the next day and stabs 20 children in the face.
So why they saying you ate a treat if you ain't eat a treat from? Did you eat? I'ma ask you again.
Did him working at the auto shop have anything to do with that? Do the cops need to know where he worked, how long he worked there, and how he got that job to determine whether or not he stabbed those children in the face?
Well, a witness would have seen it and reported it.
You're overcomplicating it.
So let's try this again. A man commits a murder. Does where the man worked and how he got that job have anything to do with the police investigation of the murder?
Your hypothetical fucking sucks, dude. I'm sorry. I'm not even on the ASD spectrum, or at least diagnosed. But I can think of 5 different ways as to how someone's job can relate to the fact that they murdered someone. Did they murder their coworker? Did they meet this person through their boss? Are they a affiliate? Are they a customer? I don't fucking know. How do I know whether or not someone's job is related to a murder? I don't know. This shit sucks. You're not helping me understand. I'm not even in this situation. I don't even get it.
I just...
Please don't say you don't know. This is very basic.
Clearly it's not, because if she can't fucking understand what the hell you're trying to get at, then it's not basic. You're not doing a good job at trying to explain yourself.
It's just confusing.
What's worse, a person being mean to you on the internet or somebody who preyed on children?
Just both.
I asked which one is worse. Which one of these things is worse? It's a simple question. I don't need an essay answer. Which one of these things is worse?
I just...
Don't tell me you don't know. You do know. You do know. Yes, you do. Tell me, Lena, or not Lena, Rosa, what's worse? Somebody putting hands on you inappropriately or someone calling you dumb? Which one of these things is worse? Tell me.
Just a predator.
Okay, why did it take you so long to even answer that? How old are you?
Why would you care about this?
I asked you a simple question. Can you not count that high?
Did you rehearse that? Like, are you proud of that one? Did you like think about that one in your head before you said it? Can you not count that high?
Please. It's just.
I
it's
asked a
No,
simple
I'm
question.
genuinely
Yes,
asking.
Hold on.
it
Hold on.
goes somewhere. Rosa, this question that I'm asking you goes somewhere.
This isn't helping what I'm trying to tell y'all.
And you may want to start answering because, like, you don't want to keep hearing muffled screeching from the old man.
Just.
By the way, you've had quite a few seconds of silence and you've not said anything.
I'm not gonna lie, after having to dissect this shit for like hours and hours and hours, because it's 4 hours in total, I actually prefer the silence. So if y'all could just like stay like that for the rest of the call, that would be great.
Okay, Rosa, I'm gonna really help you out here.
Which.
Because no one wants to hear Lio's really shitty mic. So I'm gonna help you.
Yes.
When you were asked what's worse, you being harassed or a child predator,
I know. I know
You're
child
continuing-
predator's worse, but.
but why are you continuing to talk about, oh, well, I was harassed by this, I was harassed by that? That's why, Rosa, I asked you the simple question, the very simple question of, how old are you?
But why would that be your business?
Is it a
Rosa-
problem? Is it a problem for me to ask?
If you feel like it might be a problem for her, if you're getting the inkling, you're getting the suspicion that she might not be interested or receptive to you knowing how old she is or telling you how old she is, then maybe take the hint, okay, and stop. Because if you feel like it might not be okay to her, or she doesn't want to tell you, or it might be a problem for you to ask, then just stop there. It's not hard.
Rosa, are you ashamed of how old you are based on how you're acting? Is that why you don't want to say? Because I know that you're in your 30s, Rosa. I just wanted you to say it out loud. So, I'll get to my point, since you know that you're stupid enough to the fact that your age is embarrassing. Well, how you act for your age, should I say. Someone your age should be able to deal with mean words.
Okay, first of all, being a certain age doesn't correlate to maturity. Some people are really old and really immature, like some of the people in this call, but that's not the point. Just because she's 30 doesn't mean that she's able to deal with mean words. I don't see the correlation.
I'm not done. Hey, mushmouth.
This is basically where the ableism really gets to start, you know. Speed running. What does mushmouth mean? It means a person who speaks indistinctly, someone who has a muffled or otherwise unclear voice. It's almost as if she's on the spectrum. He also calls her this for the rest of the call. So if you're like, what is that about? No, that was the beginning. That was the first time he called her mushmouth. He's gonna call her that for the rest of the call. Okay? Okay.
Do you have a hard time paying attention when someone else is speaking? Or do you just not care? Are you that egocentric? Or do I need to break down what that word means for you too? So I'm going to try this again. You're going to keep your mouth shut until I am done. I'm presenting a hypothetical.
Yo, we're already on clip 20 and I'm already sick of this nigga's hypotheticals. This nigga and his hypotheticals has me.
This is not something that will happen. This is not something I'm saying going to happen. So just because I know you're going to freak out when I say it, this is not a threat.
I don't know if it's just me, but if I have a feeling like someone's gonna interpret the thing that I'm gonna say next as a threat, I would just take that as an indicator to not say it. Instead of prefacing it and saying that it's not one. I don't know, that's just me though.
Tell me what's worse, me insulting you, or if I pulled you aside and beat your face in. Tell me which one's worse.
See, that's another.
It's another what? Because I literally just said it's not a threat, that it is literally a hypothetical that will not happen. I am giving you a hypothetical. Do you know what a hypothetical is?
Just set the wolves on her.
Rosa, do you know what a hypothetical is? Come on, answer the question. Yes or no?
They're so insistent on making her look stupid, and I'm like, man, just stop with the hypotheticals. Clearly it's not fucking clicking, so what?
You don't know, do you?
Me too confused.
Of course you're confused. You're trying your best to cobble together lies as you continue on your way. You're trying to sit there and tell me that somebody sending you a couple of mean tweets is equal to child predation. Who raised you?
Please.
Okay, I think that this is funny, I'll let Rosa cook, and then Blue will just continue, because now I'm more intrigued to see where this story goes. Because I really want to know how mean tweets are worse than child predation. And this person in their 30s legitimately think that's a good point. So since I can see, Rosa, that you're crying in Blue's DMs right now, saying that this isn't helping, ooh woo, because the mean old man said yet another threat. Oh my golly.
I'm just saying that this isn't helping me get through this.
We're barely into the call at this point, and I'm really glad that Rosa just straight up says this isn't helping. Like, I don't see how this is productive. This isn't helping the situation, and this will go very well for her. This will age very well for her later on in the call.
Rosa, I'll help you. I will help you right now. I will help you. I will give you that grace. You're not here to be helped, dickhead. There you go. There's your help for this call. Blue, you can continue, because this is hilarious to listen to.
Thanks.
There you go. Like, that is literally her revealing who she is and what her priorities are in the call. Like, it will not get better from here. If anything, if you think this is bad, it gets worse. Just pull your fucking panties up and get ready, because if you think that was bad, it's not. That's not nothing. That's nothing.
Because all I'm getting is nothing more but the increase of PTSD.
Well, I'm glad that you're feeling a bit of guilt and remorse about this, because I can only imagine how the children felt that were preyed on in those 8 months when Neko was in that server.
I'm literally at awe of the fact that Blueweed heard her say, I'm getting the increase of PTSD symptoms or whatever, and Blueweed being like, I'm glad that you're feeling guilt and remorse. Like, PTSD is not guilt and remorse. What? Pause.
Isn't this just long ago? Just once upon a time. Isn't this just once upon a time, just long ago?
No. Okay, I'm gonna stop you right fucking there, okay? Because now I'm starting to get pissed. No, let me talk, okay? Okay. It doesn't matter how long ago it was. What matters is that these children were scarred for life, okay?
I get it. But
no, clearly you don't, because you're saying that it was long ago and forever and once upon a time. That's not how it works.
Y'all didn't even wait to let her say why she asked how long ago it was. Like, you're already assuming that she's saying that there's a time limit on trauma or that trauma has an expiration date. All she asked was how long ago it was and whether or not it was once upon a time, which, you know, that kind of indicates like where she's at right now. But regardless, the fact that you made that jump so quick says more about you than it does about Rosa, because she literally never said anything that you're getting upset about. You're getting upset at something you don't even understand that she couldn't even clarify because you wanted to interrupt her.
How many years was that? Just how many years was that?
It doesn't matter how many years it's been. I was groomed 11 years ago and I still fucking remember it. So no, you don't get to sit here and say that, oh, it was long ago, once upon a time. No, that sticks with you for life. I hear you under your breath. What is it?
I just want to explain these situations.
We have given you so many chances to explain, but yet you don't. You sit there and hold your own tongue when we're begging you, pleading you to explain what the hell is going on.
I know, but as much as I'm trying to explain, but all you'll do is just keep hounding me down.
Yeah, because you're saying really damaging things when it comes to victims of child predation, of grooming. You have some really bad takes.
I'm sorry, what takes? What takes? I have yet to hear a take from her. Like, I don't even know her opinion. You're all assuming things because of questions she says or asks. She's like, how many years ago was it? Wasn't this just once upon a time, like long ago? Sure, maybe she could have reworded herself, but at the same time, I think we know the context. We are aware that she is mentally disabled, and so the way she words things might not not be what someone who's neurotypical would say. Either way, like, you're assuming what she's trying to say, and I don't know what bad takes you're getting mad at her for, because I don't even know her takes, to be honest.
Just to add on for you, Rosa, you're sat here saying that it was years ago, right? And that's your stance for why it doesn't matter.
I just don't know how many years ago that was.
That was all I was asking. Just because you're asking for a time period, therefore you think that it somehow matters.
Somehow matters for context. Somehow matters to orient the situation in her mind. I don't know. I don't know why it matters to her, but you didn't bother asking. You literally just said, oh, it's because you think that there's a timeline for trauma. You think that it gets expiration date after 5 years, suddenly doesn't matter anymore. That's all you guys. That's all what you think that she is trying to say by asking the question. And so you're basically getting mad at your own thought.
There were children that were actively hurt by your inaction. I'm sensing a lot of inaction from all that you've been saying and all that you've been doing. It's what you don't do that's the problem. But of course, ignorance is bliss, right? If you act like it never happened, then, oh, well, what's the harm? Oh, yeah, right. Children are getting preyed upon and groomed right under your nose.
Just, I don't know what to say, but sorry.
You don't know what to say because you know that I'm right.
I know.
You know? Good.
I don't have anything in particular to comment on in this clip besides the fact that just keep in mind that she says sorry here on her own volition. No one asked her to do it. She just said, I just can't help but feel sorry. Keep that in mind because later on in the clip, in the call, people start to act like she's never said sorry in it. Just keep in mind the fact that she said sorry on her own volition. Just, okay?
I just can't help but say that I'm sorry.
You're sorry after all of this? After being pulled into a call with Lio where it was put live on stream for an hour, after 3 weeks of apparently your PTSD and your disassociation getting worse, now me bringing you into call and being gentler than Lio, but still being pretty firm. That is what makes you realize that maybe you should be sorry.
I just don't know what to say. It's just so confusing.
I'm obviously not Rosa, but I imagine she's starting to feel confused because literally she's being forthcoming and honest with you about her emotions. She's like, I'm sorry that I didn't do enough. I'm just sorry. I'm sorry about the part that I played in this. And you're like, oh, now you're sorry after all this, after having to put it live on stream for an hour, after being in this call now. She's like, what do you want me to say? Don't you want me to be sorry? Like, is that not what you want? Me to apologize for the part that I played in this? She got confused because you're like, oh, now you're sorry? Oh, now? Like, what did you expect? I don't know. I understand why she got confused.
How is it? Okay,
this
so
isn't helping at all.
So you confused. You're also sorry. So what are you saying sorry about?
Just my past mistake.
What is your past mistake? You need to be more specific.
Just about the nekopan situation.
That's still too vague.
All right. Sorry to cut you off. This is where we actually want you to be complex in what you're saying. Tell us exactly what it is that you're sorry for.
Just about the nekopan situation. I just wish I would have handled it further.
I'm going to say it one last time. When I say I want you to be specific, do you know what that word means? Rosa, are you looking it up in the dictionary?
Girly pop, if you want to be Regina George so bad, you want to be a mean girl so bad, could you at least be eloquent? I don't think you have the vernacular you think you possess. If you're gonna be a mean girl, at least say your fucking line without stuttering, okay?
No.
Then can you tell me what specific means?
For real, I guess.
For real, I guess? No, when I say specific, I mean the opposite of vague, which means the opposite of what you've been doing the entire time.
Define.
So when I say, I want you to be more specific and you continue to be vague, and then I say again, and Blue also tells you again to be specific, and you continue to be vague, you're going to start pissing people off, and it's going to start making us all think that you're saying sorry because you've been caught with your pants down and you're crying and blabbering like a little piss baby. So, if you're not actually sorry, you can put that away. But if you are sorry, you should know what you're saying sorry for, which in that case, you'd be able to say the specifics of what you're actually apologizing to. So, I'll give you the floor right now. You can either apologize for what you actually did, or you can turn around and say, you know what, Blue? I'm not sorry because I don't understand because I'm a retard. Go ahead.
Do I need to say anything? Do I need to say anything? This is her intention. She's the first one to use an ableistic slur against someone that she is aware because she was in the first call of being on the spectrum. She doesn't give a fuck. This is her, okay? Like, do I need to comment? This clip speaks for itself.
I'm just sorry for my past actions.
Okay, so that was
I'm not taking that.
yeah,
No.
that pretty much.
Actually,
I feel like these people are taking joy in the fact that they can make her look stupid or preying on her downfall, and it's so obvious that the intention here is malicious. There's no need or want for her to actually figure out what it is that she did wrong. You guys are just bullying her at this point. It's very clear that your intention is malicious.
Rosa, is that you?
No, that's me. I'm giggling.
Okay, I was about to say, if this bitch is crying.
She probably is. Rose, are you crying?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God for that.
Boy, if you don't.
And what if she was crying? She'd be fucking justified, because y'all bitches suck.
Let's see. Your anxiety, depression, and stress worse after the call. This was dated on the 23rd, so it was 2 weeks after everything happened. I'll go ahead and read it. I am more stressed, more anxious, and more depressed than the average person, as I have suffered an emotional breakdown after this meeting, as this felt like emotional, mental, and verbal abuse. Thus, this caused me to become dissociated, and the PTSD got worse. And the reason I didn't show up is because my mental health is more important than this. And I heard anxiety and stress is another way that could possibly trigger a seizure. Even if I did show up, I would have had one.
That's true. Yes, I'm epileptic.
Okay, and I'm a cripple. What's your point?
Sorry if the audio has changed. My roommate went into the shower, but I digress. Literally, it gives context as to what you asked about in the tweet. The tweet you read, she is giving you context to it. You literally asked her what that tweet was about and read it. The fuck? It gives context. It provides context. Sick.
Well, I had seizures in my life since when I was young. The effects of it could cause memory loss. This is why I forget sometimes. I forget the years that happened.
That's not at all the point of what, no. I didn't ask about your tragic backstory.
Then what was the point of you reading the tweet? What was the point? That's not at all the point. Then what is the point? Because clearly, like, no one knows what you're trying to get at right now. Like, not a single fucking soul. I'm sorry.
But what the heck do y'all know? Y'all just don't care about seizures and what they do and just...
Motherfucker, I'm being tested for seizures, so shut the fuck up.
Just because you're getting tested for seizures doesn't mean that you care about the effects of seizures and what they do to Rosa.
Okay, I'll explain this for you, Rosa.
No, I got a better way to do it, and I'm going to do it very bluntly because now I finally have a little bit of quiet. Rosa, as much as you want to be, you are not a victim.
Just because we understand doesn't mean we care.
Thank you so much for saying that, Peaches, because once I make this video and put it out and you're sad about it because people know what kind of person you are in private and the type of person that you like to act in public is very different than how you act in private, don't come crying because while we understand, we don't care. Just like you.
During the mini break, Rosa, how you feeling? Is this helping you?
This is something that she does throughout the rest of the call. Very weird. It's like this weird check-in thing that she does with Rosa, even though we all know that Rosa's probably feeling absolutely shitty because of how people are treating her in the call. Peaches frequently does this little check-in thing like, how are you feeling? Are you okay? Like, as if y'all aren't fucking bullying her. It's very weird. It happens more than once in this call.
Not sure. Just feel like this is just tearing me down.
Not surprising. Not surprising whatsoever. We knew that it would be that way. She's literally getting bullied. Yes, of course, you're not gonna feel good. I don't know why Peaches even asked.
Just thought that we would have talked this more calmly.
We were calm until you started saying stuff about how apparently child grooming can, go away after a couple of years. After that really shit take, no, my patience is gone.
Bruh.
The shit take that she never even said that you imagine she said just because you assume that her asking how long ago something happened, that meant that she thought that there was an expiration on trauma. Yeah, the take that you came up with in your head based on a question that she asked that was inherently neutral, but you kind of twisted it to be something else. Yeah, that making you lose your patience like you had any to begin with. Okay, alright.
If you're feeling bad, that's a good thing because it means that you're human and you have a pulse and you feel guilty for how you've done things. So maybe now you could take that and realize, oh, fuck, I shouldn't do those things anymore and turn around and not do it again.
Okay, as I said, Rosa, I'm 23 and you're 30, gonna be 31. Like, you're older than me, and yet you're not acting or sounding like an adult. I'm more of an adult than you.
This is Leia, artsy Leia. I don't know her fucking name. She is a piece of work. You'll see what I mean.
It's just that I still suffer from these PTSD nightmares.
You have a hard time paying attention, Stu?
understand.
Hey, Doofus, I'm talking to you. I'm not your mom. I'm not going to sit here and let you talk over me. We have somebody in the server who goes by the name of Random Pool Guy. He's a United States Marine. That man has PTSD because he's been in war. The man's watched people die. The man's had to make sure other people were dead. You having bad dreams because of Twitter is not PTSD. You disingenuous, clout-stealing lout. You so desperately want to be a victim. It's sadistic. It's sickening. You want to fetishize some sort of literally made-up trauma because some YouTubers made mean tweets.
I don't want to be a demon, but I will because these people in this call suck so bad. I literally think that about your daughter all the time, Leo. You know that part where, you want to be a victim so bad that it's sadistic, it's sickening? Yeah. I feel like that could easily be applied to Peaches, actually. And on top of that, you're saying that go to the Iraq War, go into the Middle East right now, and that's the only way you can have trauma or PTSD. You can't have PTSD unless you fucking went through something crazy like that, right? So let's do the same thing with your little daughter, right? Can't you apply that to your daughter? What about her drama? Her hopeless Peaches drama, is that just nothing now? Because, well, she can't have PTSD from that. She has to go to the Iraq War in order to have PTSD, right? So her drama means nothing then. It's not trauma then. She has no trauma from it. She can't have trauma from it because it's not like war. Like, she wasn't fucking Random Pool Guy who's like a United States Marine, right? Right?
While we're on the topic of PTSD and mental disorders,
I already know this is going to be so bad. This is going to be so bad.
You stated that your seizures can cause you to have memory problems. Yes, that's what you said earlier?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I have friends who have specific different seizures. One has a stress seizure that causes to have seizures because of, well, obviously stress, but they've taken medication. They don't have memory problems. Now, granted, you probably haven't had medication and you probably got them late. I don't know, and I frankly don't care right now. Anyway,
Well,
I said I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
So because your friend has stress seizures in a certain way, that means that Rosa has to have the same exact reaction? That means that Rosa also has the exact same way that her stress seizures show up? Basically is what you're saying. Because your friend has it a certain way, that means Rosa must have it a certain way, and even if she tries to clarify, I don't give a fuck because, well, my friend is the spokesperson for all people who have seizures, because all seizures show up in the same way for every single person in the world. Duh.
But here's the thing. Seizures don't excuse things. Like, the forgetfulness, like maybe one tiny forgetfulness, that's fine. But if you keep going on and on, as you put it, go on and on and on about things, that's not your seizures making you forget. That's just you being ignorant and dumb.
Okay,
That's not a panic attack? And I should know? I have a panic attack sometime?
You have a panic attack sometime, Leia? You have a panic attack sometime, singular sometime, one time? You have a panic attack sometime. That means that you're the spokesperson for all people who have panic attacks. Great, good to know. Thank you so much, expert Leia on panic attacks.
Panic attacks are when you just have it and you don't have it stop until you calm the hell down. And yours just turns on and off like a light switch for a bathroom. Do you understand how that is positively rude to some people that may have actual panic attacks?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, literally a part of me feels like this is fucking weird because Leia is trying to convince Rosa that what she experienced is not real, and it's like literally gaslighting 2.0. Like, I'm watching it happen where she's like, don't you see how this could actually hurt people with actual panic attacks? Like, what?
You were possibly either trying to make people feel bad for you, or you were faking it, or genuinely, and this is my 1% thought, you may have had a panic attack and it was just very small and you were able to calm down it with one deep breath. Yeah, not gonna agree with that, with the latter. I'm gonna assume you probably faked it or tried to act like an anime protagonist.
Yes, because apparently acting like an anime protagonist or faking your panic attacks are more likely than actually having the panic attack. Actually having the panic attack, that's like a 1% chance. Like, there's no fucking way that she actually had a panic attack. Duh, stupid.
This is real life, and you're not going to act all cutesy wootsy just because you're 30 and you have possible special needs on certain things. Again, won't go into that.
Why? Why not? Why won't you go into it, Leia? I thought you were the expert on panic attacks. I thought your friend was an expert on seizures. Like, why won't you go into the fact that she has special needs, though? Why not? Huh?
But, like, you don't have to act while in a call or in stressful situations just so that way people can care about you.
I think it's so funny that these people think that she's acting so hard just for, like, sympathy or, like, empathy, just to get someone to care about her, as if, like, you don't know that for certain and you're just assuming that she's doing this for attention or people to care about her, when in reality, it very much could be that she's actually having a panic attack and you guys are just putting your expectation on her, putting your assumption on her, and, like, leaving her out to just fucking suffer on her own. You think that more than she would actually having it, and that is crazy because that shows where y'all's minds are at with Rosa. I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but it just seems really weird that it's just a bunch of people trying to convince Rosa that her experience of things and her experience of trauma, her experience of panic attacks, her experiences of seizures are somehow less valid than, I don't know, Leia's experience of panic attacks, Leia's friend's experience of stress seizures. Like, it just seems a little sus that everyone is trying to convince this disabled woman that her experiences of things is less valid than, like, everyone else in the world. I am a little weirded out by this. That is very strange. Just not right behavior.
And if you like wells so much because you say well a lot, how about you go marry one and jump in it? I'm done. I'm muting now. Who's next?
Who's next? Who else wants to tell her to fucking kill herself? Who's next? I'm muting now. Who's next? Jump in a well. Kill yourself.
You know, I'm a victim of nekopan, and I'm talking to you.
Just too hard for me to remember much.
Too hard. I want you to know something. I suffer with CPTSD, complex PTSD. And then I had to go back to my friend BB. I was like, hey, BB, quick question. What did nekopan do to me? So I had to get all my memories again from a friend who went through it with me. And you have the goal to tell me, well, it's just I have bad memory. Fuck you.
This is the victim of nekopan. This is the person who was groomed by nekopan for 4 years. Their name is Endo. And they're seen peppered throughout the call. They're kind of the person who people should care the most about getting closure for. But as you can see, as the call progresses, that's not what Endo really gets at the end.
And I kind of find it very offensive that you say, oh, you know, it happened so long ago. Oh, it doesn't mean anything. Fuck you. No. Don't me. Don't you dare.
Editing Omnia here. I don't know where my recording went. I guess my computer just yeeted it into the cyberverse. I don't know, but I was gonna say here that Rosa didn't say any of that. We know that Rosa didn't say any of that, and I just wanted to clarify that because while I understand Endo's upset about things and like assuming that Rosa actually did say something like that, I think Endo would be completely valid and fine for saying this, but because Rosa didn't ever say this and that was just Blue spinning the narrative in a certain way, just wanted to make sure that everybody was aware that Rosa never said this in the call.
I'm not out here for revenge. I'm out here for closure because I spent 4 years of my fucking life dealing with nekopan. I could have been doing that, you know, being young, still being dumb, still having fun, but no. I got traumatized and have to be a leader to protect everybody.
I think this clip is kind of important because it highlights what Endo's intentions were with being in the server call and being in the VC, and I genuinely think that it's the Senate that failed Endo ultimately and ended up victimizing Rosa in addition to Endo, because Endo literally said that they're here for closure and not revenge, and the closure that Endo was seeking in this call, I feel like fell far from the intention, and it's just it's really sad. What Endo went through is really shitty, and I think the Senate server really failed Endo in giving them the closure that they said that they wanted.
It's just so confusing to find out what my memories were.
Oh.
I can't remember much.
Oh, you can't remember. Shiver me fucking timbers.
Another part of this call that I contend with personally is the way that Endo is kind of misplacing their upset towards Nekopan or towards Star Giant or towards any other person who might have allowed or been complacent with their grooming in relation to Nekopan onto Rosa. And I feel like that's the thing that I kind of feel hesitant about Endo, in that I understand that they couldn't get Star Giant in the call. I understand they couldn't get Nekopan in the call. That doesn't mean that you can just unfettered get angry as you would with Nekopan or with Star Giant to Rosa just because she is the least common denominator and the person that you managed to get into the Senate. I think that that is where I start to feel like, you know, like the justice is not being met, and I think this is like a personal tangent, something that I feel like I've come to the realization of is that closure doesn't come from the people who harmed you. You can't go out of your way and wait for someone who harmed you to help you. The person who harmed you is never going to heal you. And that's me. That's my opinion. I'm not going to go towards my abuser and be like, why the fuck did you do that? Why aren't you saying sorry to me? You should have done better. You shouldn't have done that to me. It's like, if you're willing to do that to me to begin with, what makes me think that you're going to do anything to help me through it or heal from it? And I think that that's like a hard realization that Endo might need to come to on their own. And like, obviously that's not my place to say, but from my own experience, I've realized that I can't heal from the person who harmed me by the person who harmed me. The person who harmed me is not going to be the one who heals me. I don't know. Does that make any sense?
You know what? I'll make this easy for you, Rosa. About, what was it? Yesterday, I found out there was a creep in my server. I got sent the information at, I think it was about 10 in the morning. Do you know how long it took me for them to get gone?
Yeah.
About as long as it takes to click on the profile and click banned. It doesn't take that long, Rosa.
I think what's really funny about this clip is like the fundamental apples and oranges shit, like Peaches. You're talking about your server, the server that you own, the server that you have a lot of permissions in, all permissions in. You can't be comparing yourself as the server owner to Rosa, who may or may not have the permissions to ban anyone. You are like, it takes 2 seconds, but you're also saying it's your server and you're the server owner and you have full control over what happens within your server. This is not the same. This is not the same.
Tell me again, are you Star Giant's fan or friend?
I just wanted to have was an LGBT friend.
Oh, they're LGBT. So they have to be collected like a Pokemon card, right? That's what
No.
you use your little LGBT friends as shields?
No.
Continue.
It's just that I've never had any friends that are LGBT.
So not only do you harbor predators knowingly, you also fetishize people in the LGBT. That's pretty cool. I'm bisexual. Do you want to become my friend? Because I would rather see you stick your hand in a blender, personally.
Bitch. You think I won't? Okay. Watch. I got the magic bullet. The fuck? You think I'm kidding? Bitch. You think I'm kidding? Okay. I honestly feel like anyone would rather stick their hand in a blender than be your friend Peaches, to be honest. Editing Omnia here, y'all couldn't have just asked or thought that maybe Rosa wanted some queer friends because she was queer? Because she is. She's literally bisexual. Maybe she wanted an LGBT friend because she wanted someone who she could relate to. Hello? Are we not allowed to have friends that are different than ourselves? Or even similar to ourselves? Is it bad, guys? Is it bad to want friends?
Star Giant is claiming that there is no evidence because Nekopan hasn't been found guilty of anything in a court of law. Star Giant, despite being corrected multiple times, thinks pedophilia is a legal thing.
I'm gonna be so honest, I included this clip only because I wanted to get my lick back, so just know that I'm being very transparent. I think it's really funny that you're talking so much shit about Star Giant not recognizing pedophilia as something other than a legal thing, because when someone comes to you about domestic assault and how their abuser actually pled guilty to the fact that they assaulted them, and they literally provided the sentencing order showing that their fucking abuser became recognized as guilty of committing domestic assault against them with legal evidence, court of law evidence, found guilty of something in the court of law evidence, you don't believe it. So if you want to talk about how Star Giant is so bad for not thinking that Nekopan's a pedophile because they don't have any verdict that shows that they're guilty of it in a court of law, when someone comes to you about their abuse and actually has evidence of it being fucking legitimized within the court system, you still don't agree with it and you still don't believe it. Yeah, I'm talking about myself and I'm talking about my abuser and I'm talking about you because I literally showed you the sentencing order and said, why the fuck do you believe my abuser? Saying that my court case just got fucking tossed out because I tweet too much. I'm literally that person. I'm literally that person who produced the sentencing order. I'm literally that person who produced a series so that you could literally just sit there and watch it. You didn't even have to do the fucking work. You didn't even have to go through my tweets. I literally created a series for you that showed that my abuser was found guilty of assault in my fucking YouTube channel and you still didn't believe it. So you want to talk about, oh, Star Giant this, Star Giant that. You are literally worse than the person you are complaining about. You want to talk about how they don't even fucking recognize it unless it's validated within the courts. You don't even recognize it when it is validated in the courts. That's the crazy thing. So Leo, you are literally worse than Star Giant. I'm sorry to tell it to you.
Did you talk to Nekopan? Were you her best friend? I want to know that. Were you?
I wasn't friends with Nekopan. I just thought that Nekopan was just some random nobody or just a fan.
That backtracks when you said you knew she was a Star Giant's artist, though.
Well, that's what she told me. That's what Rebecca told me.
Okay, carry on.
Yeah. Well, now I feel like I just want to improve. I need to confront Star and tell her that...
Then tell her to come in the server. I would like that to be the first step of improvement. If Star wants to be your friend, she should be coming in the server. And I don't mean to be like that. It's just that it's so unfair that her best friend is here defending her name.
I just want her to do is just, after this abuse video, she needs to talk about the Nekopan situation.
Oh no, not talk about the Nekopan situation. I want her to talk to fucking me.
Yeah, where is your friend?
The truth of the matter is, Star Giant's scared of me because she knows who I am. She knows what I've done in her community. She knows the people I've outed. So she's a pussy. She's scared. And she would rather let you die Didn't get in call. That's the truth of the matter. Get mad about it for all I care.
There's literally no ethical thing to say about this. Like, what is this for? The person who directly harmed Endo or directly endangered other minors by being preyed upon by Nekopan isn't here, and you know that they're not going to be here because she's a coward and she's a pussy and she doesn't want to come because she doesn't want to be held accountable. If you know that, then why did you get the least common denominator, i.e. Rosa, to come into this call for what? To stroke your dick? You knew the people who are most egregious would not agree to get into VC. So then what the hell is this for? Hi, it's Editing Omnia again. I just wanted to add one thing to this part. So I do recognize that Rosa is not innocent, and I don't want people thinking that I think that, because I don't think that she is innocent. She continued to associate with Stargiant after being aware that she harbored a pedophile in her server. She didn't do enough in terms of what she could have done in terms of Nekopan. Sure, I don't know the exact permission she had as a mod, but I don't want people thinking that she had no responsibility whatsoever and she had no ability to do anything. She still had a part to play and a role that she played in complacency. But comparatively to Nekopan or Stargiant, I think that she is not as, or at least shouldn't be, punished as harshly as she has been in this call. I think one of my main concerns and worries about this video is that people will not take it in a nuanced way, despite it being a very nuanced situation. I don't think that the punishment that she is receiving within this call is proportionate to the crime, quote unquote, that she is committed. And for me to just sit by idly and not say something against that, I think is a disservice to both Rosa and to Endo and other victims of Nekopan, because like Endo said, they want closure, and like this is not helping anyone. It's not helping Rosa get better and become aware of her mistakes, and it's not helping Endo feel better either, because she is just watching the person who has harmed her become victimized, and that's just not productive in any way, shape, or form.
But by the way, just so that's not clear enough to you, the whole death thing, that wasn't a threat. This is here for baby's first introduction on what not a threat is.
Oh, I could I could tell you an actual threat coming from me. I'm sorry, like, you know,
No, let's not.
All right, I won't.
None of that.
I'll do.
You're an adult. Conduct yourself as such.
Will do. Got it.
Here's what I will say. I understand that the things that Endo went through is horrible. Like, there's no denying that. But that doesn't mean that you can just transfer your hurt to other people who are very tangentially related to the person who harmed you. That doesn't give you the excuse to want to threaten someone who barely, compared to your abuser, compared to the person harboring the predator, compared to literally anyone else in the situation who is complicit in your fucking grooming, you are getting mad at the least egregious person, and that doesn't justify what happened to you, and that is not okay. I understand you were harmed by Nekopan. I understand that, and I'm sorry. You cannot use what you went through with Nekopan. You cannot use what you went through with Star. You cannot go and use that harm to go ahead and harm other people. I'm sorry. Like, I understand what happened to you is horrible and that is never okay. No one is saying that that was okay. But what you're doing right now is basically just taking your hurt and your harm and your trauma and trying to displace it on someone who didn't even directly harm you, who is barely the worst in this situation. It's actually very, very sad.
How about you get Star in the call next time? I would like that a lot.
She won't. Star has been terrified of getting called because she knows what's coming.
Stargiant doesn't want to come to tell the truth, because here's the thing. If they come and tell the truth that they harbored a pedophile for over a year, that's going to be a stigma to their goddamn name, to the point they had to be rebrand.
Y'all are literally saying, yeah, we knew that the worst person, the predator themselves, wouldn't get into VC. We knew the person who actually harbored the pedophile in their server won't come into VC. So we'll just get like the least egregious person, like someone like tangentially involved, like maybe had permissions to ban, maybe not. And then like yell at them for 4 hours so that the victim can receive closure. Because, you know, yelling at someone and harassing someone and berating someone and dehumanizing someone for 4 hours straight is a perfect closure. What the fuck is wrong with you people? Literally, what the fuck is wrong with you? Be serious right now and tell me that that is productive and that will literally help endo in any way, shape, or form with your whole chest, and be fucking serious. You can't. You can't.
What is going to make you change and do something about nekopan now? I'm just wondering, what are you going to do now?
I just get the feeling I need to tell Rebecca that after this video is done, I need to tell her to do this nekopan video.
She should have dropped it and gone after nekopan years ago. I think it's too late to try to tell Star you need to do a nekopan video. It's too late because there's nothing she can do right now to absolve herself. You see, there's a reason why a lot of predators get away. It's because weak-willed pieces of garbage like you are more interested in your own comfort than doing what's right. Or you don't know what harassment is, you don't know what PTSD is. All you're doing is trying to make excuses for your own piss-poor behavior. You've chosen to be an immoral piece of garbage. You've chosen to dishonor your entire family line by acting like this. Because I have a feeling if your mother knew what actually happened instead of whatever lie you fed her, she'd toss you out. Or maybe she'd beat you senseless. Either of these I am completely fine with, because frankly, I hope you never breed. I've seen pictures of you, I doubt you're going to, but I hope you never breed. Because, number one, we don't need your genes passing, not because you have autism or anything like that. I care very much so for people with disabilities, but because you have low moral character and you're going to raise your children to be just as stupid, weak, worthless, gutless like you are. You're pathetic.
That sounds like eugenics, actually. That sounds like eugenics. Don't fucking lie and say that you care about people with mental disabilities. You care about people with disabilities. No, the fuck you don't. This entire call shows that you do not care. You do not give a flying fuck. It's so obvious. Do not fucking lie. It's really embarrassing for you to be acting like you give a fuck when you go ahead and act like this. Like, you are literally actively embarrassing yourself right now. I don't understand why you're trying to do this. Why you're trying to morally grandstand as someone who actually cares about people with mental disabilities when you want to openly and actively act like this.
I'm gonna ask now that we're so far. Rosa, how are you feeling?
I literally told you she did this like multiple times within the call. There it is. There's the second one. Just to make sure that she's okay, even though I know that I'm harassing her and berating her and dehumanizing her. I just need to make sure that she's okay. How are you feeling?
Just not sure what to say right now.
Okay.
Also, I'm gonna real quick. I'm sorry. Just one more thing. I do not buy your "I'm gonna have a seizure over stress" thing. Because if that's true, you're a complete moron. You have actively made it to the point to where you will put yourself in that stressful situation just so you can skit so close about the guy that allegedly caused you stress. You are worthless. Now I'm going to mute again. I'm going to let Rosie continue. I apologize. I'm going to do address that.
No problem. So, okay, so you're not feeling too good, because I want to actually get through and know exactly how you're feeling right now. At this point, I'm like, I think we've said a lot of things to you. I want to see if it's processed. So what were you saying? You're not feeling very good?
Just not quite well. I just really feel like I want to leave.
You want to leave? Is it okay? So you want to leave. Why is that? Like, what kind of feelings are you having? Do you feel guilt or shame? Or do you feel like you're here to be bullied?
I think it's kind of fascinating that you're kind of aware of the fact that she might perceive the actions that you and Leo and everyone else in this Senate server call could be perceived as bullying. It's crazy that you think that, because it probably is. You are able to have the self-awareness to understand that Rosa probably thinks that what you're doing is bullying. Maybe you should stop. Maybe that's like not the way you should go about this. Maybe that's not the approach that is productive. But what do I know? I'm just Omnia, the fucking person who wants to gatekeep trauma and doesn't know anything.
I'm not sure.
You're not sure. Do you feel shame? That's a pretty simple yes or no question.
Just possibly.
And what about? Because a while ago, Blue wanted to know if you were sorry. You were saying sorry. You were asked why. I asked for specificities, and you didn't know, which was basically just a massive fuck you. So I'm going to ask at this point, do you know why you are here and what you've done to fuck up? Because at this point you said that you feel guilt, so you must know at this point, right?
Yes.
Okay, could you let us all know what like, are you sorry about anything that you've done?
Yes.
And what is it that you're sorry about?
Just everything. Just all this situation. I just wish I could have done something about it.
See, this is the thing. Usually when people say...
I just wish my personal life just didn't get in the way.
Okay, now this is funny. Okay, okay, Rosa, it's fine. You can quit talking because I don't care. So when people say they wish they could have done something, usually they're wishing for an opportunity that just never came. You, on the other hand, just sit on your hands and do jack diddly squat. So what are you wishing for? You don't. Okay, let me let this down for you, because at this point, I think we've gone through everything. I think we know what's everything going on. You are a worthless piece of shit that has got no life, got no friends, got no job, does nothing. So what kind of social life has gotten in the way? Because you still sat here after all of this call saying that you wish that you had an opportunity to do something.
Can't help but feel guilt over this.
Wait, what? What was that? You gotta really speak up. You're 30, right?
I just can't help but feel guilt over this. I just cannot forgive myself over this.
Good. I'm glad. I hope you hate yourself for a long time. Jesus Christ. I wouldn't even have to, do the half the shit that you've done to fucking hate myself if I were you.
I feel like you have many reasons, Peaches, to hate yourself. I do. Since you want to be like this, you want to act like this, you have very many reasons to hate yourself. I'm so serious. If you want to be a vile person, then hate yourself then. You want to talk about, you should hate yourself?
Bruh.
You should loathe yourself. You should despise yourself. You're such a nasty bitch. And for what?
This is why I asked you how old you are. And you are that embarrassed about your whole fucking existence that you bitched and cried when I asked you. Why was that? Because I do want to quickly ask, see if we're on the same page here. Why didn't you want to say your age when I asked?
Because who are you? An op? You for the feds? The fuck? You want my social security number too? Why do you need my age? What is that for? You're here because of nekopan, right? What the fuck does my age have to do with shit?
Well, it felt like it was going off topic.
You have gone off topic so fucking many times going about your fucking Naruto nonsense. So why is me asking a question that I literally said leads into something going off topic?
Just what does age have to do with this?
Tell her she's wrong. Tell her she's wrong. You can't. What does her age have to do with this?
Because, Rosa, I was asking very simply about why someone in their 30s doesn't understand a lot of stuff. Holy shit. Do you have no shame? You are in your 30s, living with your mother, having no job, having no car, having no life, no friends, fetishizing the LGBT, and bitching about how your 10 billionth Star Wars marathon got in the way of you reporting a child predator.
Hey, Peaches, can I chime in real quick? Sorry, I don't mean to be like a dick or anything.
Go ahead.
I was wondering, Rosa, can I get a fucking apology though, Loki, for all those years, basically ignoring all those things, all those evidence, and then being snitched on.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what you're sorry about though? I want to know exactly what you're sorry about.
Just the nekopan situation.
And what did you do in the nekopan situation? Tell me. Just what? You just took a shit or you sat down? What is it?
Just my personal life.
Oh, so you're sorry that your personal life got into it. So you're sorry for that, but you're
in the way. I just really wish I would have acted quickly.
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest with you, that apology kind of sucked ass. Royally. I'm gonna be honest with you. Use an excuse before an apology does not work. Really, it doesn't.
You're making excuses as though the things you're stating are out of your control, and the truth of the matter is they are. You weren't sick. You didn't have anything serious going on. Shut your dumb whore mouth.
At this point, the call kind of goes to shit. They basically start to slut shame her a bunch and call her a whore and a slut hole and just horrible, very wildly misogynistic, wildly sexist shit. And I do want to note before we get into any further parts of this where they become even more violently misogynistic and more violently slut-shamey, Rosa is a survivor of sexual assault. So just putting that out there. Now, I did ask Rosa whether or not Leo or Peaches or anyone else in the call knew that she was a survivor. She said no. Either way, this goes to show that you should never, ever do this shit to someone because you don't know what their fucking life is like. You don't know their background. You don't know their trauma. You don't know them. So I'm just letting everyone know that right now so you can just keep in mind just the gravity, what this means to Rosa as a survivor of SA.
Just cannot forgive myself.
She's trying to play the victim. So, Rosa, are you paying attention to me right now?
I'm not playing victim. It's
Yes,
just...
you are. Now, I asked you a question. Are you paying attention right now to words coming out of my mouth?
Yes.
The fact that you rate Star Wars and people being mean about it higher than the safety of children tells me you need to remove yourself from the census immediately. And I know you're not very smart. You're not going to pick up on that. But you know what? The YouTube censors won't either, so it's all good.
It's all good. The YouTube censors can't just tell that I fucking told her to kill herself. Yeah, at least I could still get monetized for telling someone to kill themselves. I'm Leo Convoy. I'm the pinnacle of human morality, and I just told a disabled woman to kill herself because she doesn't have priorities like I do. Hi, Editing Omnia here. I recognize that this is just the most convenient clip to end on, not only because my mental health and sanity are decreasing at alarming rates, but also because we started the call with Hopeless Peaches insisting that Rosa never received any threats of violence, and yet we get to end on a perfect example of one. From Leo again. No less. So much for that. Anyways, that's besides the point. I just wanted to let you know that I decided to cut this video into 2 parts for several reasons. One, as I've already stated, my mental health is being severely compromised by the creation of this video. The things said here feel awful to listen to, and even though it's not directly involving or addressing me in particular, it is incredibly emotionally draining to have to hear and address. Additionally, this VC is 4 total hours in length, making it an extremely large-scale project. At this point, we are at timestamp 2 hours and 5 minutes in the original recording, and on clip 76 of the 164 total clips that I've compiled, meaning we are just about halfway through. I will try and finish part 2 as soon as possible with the same level of quality that this video has, but I figured it was valuable to put something out now rather than waiting until I finish editing the entire call so that people are at least somewhat informed about the contents of this VC. This has become increasingly important, especially considering the fact that Hopeless Peaches is now scrambling to damage control as best as she possibly can, deactivating her That Rebel Erin Twitter account, making a channel update out of the blue stating that she is suddenly done making predator hunting content, leaving the Senate server, and privating her entire Glitch Tale series. It can't be because she's being exposed as a massive hypocrite. No. This is why I found it important to just release the first half of the call that I've already finished editing as soon as possible. I will be continuing to edit the second part of this call. All I ask of you is to please be patient and recognize that I'm doing my best to make my coverage of this call comprehensive, informed, and intentional. Lastly, more information has since come out about Hopeless Peaches, Leo Convoy, and other Discord servers such as the Fruitcake Club. If you want cursory details or information, I encourage you to follow the Fruitcake Leaks Twitter account. Of course, I can go into more detail about this at a later time, but for now, I thank you for understanding and watching, and I will see you in part 2 in due time. Take care.